mace, one of the hardest PvP styles in the whole of Minecraft. You get it by the blocks that you fall equals 1 damage. So if you're falling by 10 blocks with no enchantments, it will do around about 10 hearts. Not unless you're in full netherite, obviously. And today, redtoblu is going to be training me how to use one of the most hardest weapons in the whole of Minecraft. Let's see if I actually learn how to do stuff.
Okay guys, so today I'm going to be teaching Blazing Ollie over here, who is pretty bad at PvP, how to use a mace. Now, there are multiple mace kits you can use, but it seems like the default one is the one with only wind charges. So today I'm going to be teaching him how to use this one, and how to use both different maces in his current inventory to be able to dominate any fight that he ends up getting into. So, do you want to get started, Ollie?
Alright, let's get ready.
Okay, so Ollie, I've already taught you a bit about mace before, so I don't really need to teach you that much. The main thing that I need to teach you though, there are some differences between this and kits like SMP, which you already know a decent amount about. This doesn't have a lot of enchants. If you look at your armor, the only enchant other than prop 4 is feather falling 4. What this basically means is that because you don't have any XP bottles, and I mean this doesn't even have mending, your armor can break very, very easily. Okay.
That was negative aura.
Yeah, that was negative aura. So what that means is you want to avoid hits like as much as possible. Okay? You want to be like when people try macing you, you want to be like doing like these little tiny pearls to get out of the way. Now you do have 3 stacks of pearls, which is a stack more than SMP, you know? So the main thing that you want to be doing in a kit like this is just trying to preserve all your resources. So when it comes to potions, you have speed 1 and 2 for 1.5 minutes. So you want to pot that up. I like to have a stack of wind charges in my wind charge slot, as well as one next to my elytra. So that's kind of the kit. Now with mace, this is where you're going to have to start getting keybinds, okay? I've already kind of taught you a bit about mace, so do you have keybinds or?
I have a few, I have like 4.
Okay, so what were your keybinds for?
Alright, so I have my ender pearls and wind charges, which is my 2-side mouse buttons. And then I have Q as my breach mace and E as my density.
Okay, so these are all my keybinds, so I'm going to be able to relate to you a lot. Only difference between mine and your keybinds is, for me, Q is my sword, and for my breach mace, it's my bottom mouse button, because I have 3 and you only have 2. So what this basically means is it's going to be a lot easier for me to like breach swap. So you saw how much damage I did then, right?
A whole lot.
Yeah. That's called breach swapping. So as you can see, it does like 2.5 hearts or something. Which, I mean, it's a lot for just like a crit, right?
Yup.
Right, so that's one thing I'm going to be teaching you. You can also, you can do that mid-air, which does a lot of damage as well, as you can see. So next thing that I want to teach you is just like elytra use of wind charges. So what you want to be able to do is this, where you kind of like launch yourself up with the elytra. It's not the easiest to do. It took me a while to learn this. So I'm going to teach you the basic steps right now. So, first step is wind charge up, and then start using your elytra. Okay, next step, once you're about to hit the ground, okay, I want you to look the most down you can possibly look, and just like flick there, and then to where you want to go. Almost. Now, when you do it, just spam the space bar. Close.
Damn it, I stopped flying.
Don't just spam the space bar actually. Just like time it for when you do it. So
I did it a bit.
Yeah, so when you go down to the ground, just kind of like spam it a slight bit. You don't really need to spam it, you can just time it, but...
Why did it stop elytring me?
It's because you're going down at too much of an angle. Look, you need to kind of like ease it down a bit more. Look, like go down at a bit less of an incline. Nice. Okay, you're kind of getting it now. Okay, nice. I think you kind of got that. It does take some practice, but the main use of this is that, look, I can, for example, like...
Jeez, my elytra took a lot of damage during that. I don't even have unbreaking.
Yeah, none of the stuff in this has unbreaking. So like, as you can see, like, you can do that, right? Next thing, this is a bit harder. This took me ages to learn. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still not very good at it because it's very hard. So what you do is you wind charge their feet, you pearl, and then you mace.
Damn, that sounds hard. Okay, let me try.
Yeah, you really need to like precision aim. You also need to predict where they're gonna be when your pearl lands.
Well, that was close.
This is one of those things that I'm gonna like let you try for a sec. Oh, okay, you actually managed to do it. That's a lot faster than anyone else I've taught. So, next thing I want to teach you is something I've actually basically already taught you.
Oh yes, I love this. I love this. Why would you move?
Oh, because that's how mace works. Okay, just try it, okay? How
is one alive?
I don't know.
That was a fumble. Wee.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
That one was better. You failure.
Okay, so can you try breach swapping?
Wait, which one's my breach again?
Okay, so you want to hold your sword and go to your mace and hit at the exact same time, and then after hitting, go back to your sword. Wait, look, let me heal just so I can see how much damage I actually do it. Okay, right. Nope.
Crap.
You're
Probably go to
hitting
my
me.
sword.
Yeah. No, okay, remember, hold your sword, click the button and hit at the exact same time.
Well, that's gonna be a bit hard.
Do you have a sword keybind?
Yes, it's B.
Nope. Nope. Honestly, my mouse keybind is really useful for this. Honestly, I think breach swapping is one of those tactics that I might not be able to fully teach you, just because it takes a long time to learn. But there's definitely a tactic that's a bit more like that in the future. Right. Try again. Wait, it might be because you're not using strength. Let me pause up. Okay, I'll try. Okay, still no. Still no. still no. Closer. I think. Closer.
Surely that was it. And that.
Close. No. You're doing a critical hit, not. Nope. Nope.
No, it's just not meant to be a critical hit.
Nope. No, it's meant to be a critical hit.
Surely.
Okay, that was it, I think. Wait. Can you just tell me how much damage does this do?
Like 5 hearts.
Okay, in that case, it definitely wasn't. That did 1.5 hearts. Okay. So that's that. Last thing. That I want to teach you, and this is one of the most complicated things. This is the last thing before I teach you some mace tactics. Okay. Well, actually, technically, it's 2 things. Hold your shield out. These are definitely going to take a long time. Right. Hold it out. Also hold your totem. Okay. First one. Backstab. Okay.
Oh, you taught me like an axe.
Well, kind of, but it's a bit different in mace because you, of course, you know, you're using a mace, so you have a lot more time. Next thing. This is what's gonna really take time. Okay, I messed it up there, but
Hard. Does that mean I use another keybind?
I mean, to be fair, I don't use a keybind for this. Okay, nice. So hold your shield up again. That. This is called a stun slam, okay?
Surely I need a keybind for this.
So what I do is I wind charge up, and I go onto my axe, and then I
But how
break
do you
the
get
shield.
your axe that quick?
I just scroll. Is your axe not next to your wind charges?
No, it's my ender pearl.
What? Sorry. What's your layout from the first slot to the last?
Sword, axe, elytra, ender pearl, wind charge, mace, apple, totem.
Okay, so your wind charges are swapped to elytra, is what you're saying.
What?
Wait, so so your third slot has an elytra.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, my third slot is wind charges, which means that I can just like quickly like go between the two with scroll. In that case, I guess you do need a new keybind.
Or I could just like try and figure something out. Like
I mean, depends. Where are your wind charges? What slot?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
On slot 5,
Yes.
the very middle slot.
Yes.
Okay, so
I could make it a 4th.
and there's no possibility that you can make it. So I think it's going to be a lot harder because you're going to need a keybind, especially seeing as I use V as my keybind, and of course you can't really use
Wait,
V, can
I
you?
reckon I can do it now.
Okay.
Hold your shield.
Wait, just temporarily put your axe where your elytra usually is, because you don't need it for this.
You already have.
Okay.
Come on, hold your shield. And like,
Just so you know, this took me like 2 months to learn, so if you learn this that fast, I'll be stunned. Get it? Because stun slam.
ha.
Okay, wait, can I just... Unlike the one where you... Like, the breach swap thing, right? Unlike that, instead, you're axing, switching to your mace, and then hitting again.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No, hold your shield up. You need to do it in, like, really quick succession. Okay?
So it is like breach swap.
No, it's not. Because breach swap, you're literally doing it at the exact same time. However, with stun slam, you're doing it quickly, but not at the exact same time.
Okay.
I'm not going to teach you stun slam, like, for that long, just purely because you probably won't get it today. I would like it if you could learn it, like, at some point, though. Sorry, I was not holding my totem. Bless. Quick little thing. The reason that you don't always backstab, try backstabbing me right now.
Oh.
Right, okay, now try backstabbing me again. Okay, I'm kind of bad at it, but like, basically, if I try backstabbing you, hold the shield. Right. So if I try backstabbing you, see, so you can, you know, like you're not stupid. You can like follow me around, right?
Yeah. Which is why you need the axe thing.
Right. So the only time where you'll actually be able to backstab, so try, hold the shield up.
Oh.
No, hold your shield. Right. So if you do it like, if you like literally go like right above them, and then you do it. Right. And as well as that, also if you're ever using a breach mace, so if I get my breach mace out, and that one. Okay. If you ever use your breach mace, then always remember. So hold your shield up. You always wanna do that, because then you see how much damage that does, right?
A lot.
Yeah, that did like what, 15 hearts.
Yeah.
So one thing about mace that I actually surprisingly haven't taught you yet. So breach mace, it gets rid of all of like your armor. Okay, so imagine a sword, right? It does like what, like a heart. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you add your breach to it, imagine the enchantments of your breach mace going onto a sword. So it's a sword, like, but like take off all your armor, just quick. That's basically what a breach mace does. That's the same amount of hearts, right?
Yeah.
That's because what a breach mace does is it gets rid of all your armor health.
Oh.
So imagine
see.
imagine you don't have armor if you get hit by a breach mace. Okay?
Okay.
One other thing about mace is it's the first thing that we've ever taught that has this little shulker, which, as you can see, has stuff in it. You can mine it with your fists, and yeah. Now one other thing you should be aware of, okay? As you probably noticed by now, we only have 2 stacks of wind chargers. Once you run out, you run out.
Oh, there's no breeze rods. I was looking for them.
Yeah. So it basically just means that you need to be careful with what you use them for. So, final thing I just want to teach you is how to know when to use each one, okay? Like each mace. So, when you're like this high up maybe, you want to be using your breach mace like that, okay? When you're like high up like that, that's when you use your density mace, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you're really high up like this, and use your density mace, then afterwards you want to use your breach mace, because you're not as high up. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Finally, we're going to move on to some tactics. So, first tactic is if, like, go into the air. No, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, okay, ready. 3, 2, 1, go. You see that?
Yeah.
With the breach mace, because it doesn't have wind burst, I can spam click you, and when I spam click you, it does tons of damage. So ready? 3, 2, 1.
You hit me away.
Ready? 3, 3, 2, 1.
We're standing
Okay.
too close.
3, 2, 1.
Bit early.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You're going way too early. Wait, you count that.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, close. Another tactic. So you know that thing, right?
Yeah.
That's not the only way to boost up in the air. Of course, you can use that, and then once you do use, okay, I kind of messed it up there, but once you do use that, you build up tons of speed, which means your next wind charge you can go just as high.
It's like a elytra mace.
Yeah, basically. So I mean that's most of the tactics and everything. Final tactic is just another thing about when to use each mace. So, for example, I could do this. I could breach like mace, and then I could like. So okay, so just try macing me right now. Right? You see? I can use breach swap to actually win a like. Right? So just because you're not actually like going up in the air doesn't mean you're not doing damage. Okay? So that's the last thing that I really want to like properly teach you. So oh yeah, that's the last thing. Once you do that, as you can see, you can kind of like do an elytra mace type of thing. And that's kind of it. Do you want to get into some duels?
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, so Ollie, I think you did quite well.
I won no rounds. I think I did
Yeah, you
bad.
didn't win any rounds, and the only totem I ever popped was from full damage. However, the one thing you did do well of is you always kept on like fighting, and you were always like constantly breach swapping. I saw like every single time you went down, you were always using your breach mace, which I think was good. My only concern that you didn't really do very well at is every single time that you went up like that, you would go over here and then come all the way back and then go. When you do that, you really just want to like use your elytra and go like straight in, straight to the person. So like, look. Right? You see what I mean?
Crap. My hotbar ain't saved.
Honestly, though, I think you did good. And I mean, honestly, I think that in Mace, you're good. But you definitely need to get a lot better if you want to beat me, because Mace is my main game mode.
Especially elytra mace.
Yeah. So next time, because this is only one kit of Mace, next time we're going to be learning a different kit of Mace. And that kit of Mace is called Spear Mace. So next time we're learning Spear Mace, and I think it's going to be a bit easier. However, you might need to change some of your keybinds, because currently we'll be doing Q and something else, which is going to be awkward, I guess. So I guess that's for next time though, so I guess see you next time.